Good morning, everyone. Today, I want to help you navigate through the new system Crossroads Art Center is using for our call for entries. We are using Art Call as our platform, and I'd like to get right to it. So we're going to do a share screen, and you will find it easiest to go to Crossroads Art Center to the website. And if you just scroll at the top, you could use the banner down here, or if you scroll at the top where it says just for artists, scroll down to call for entries, and you will see on that page all our call for entries that are currently being posted. And you want to click on, for right now, either the Black History Month call for entry or the January All Media Show. Click on that, and it's going to take you to the main page. When you scroll down, you can read some of these dates, which are very important to know, and you come to where it says click here to go to that website, which is Art Call. So you do that, and here you are. And what you want to do is scroll down and look over this prospectus a little bit, and then you hit register and apply. And this will also, excuse me, take you to where you can log in. So you just click in there. All right. If you've never gone to Art Call before, if you don't have an account with them, it doesn't cost you anything, but you do need to fill in this information. And at the bottom where it asks you if you want to save your password, do that, because your life will be much easier if you take care of that right now. It's not your bank, so it's not as critical that you make sure nobody in the world can get to it. In my case, I have already created one, so I'm going to log in. But I will say that you will come up to a page that tells you you have 40 minutes to put in an artist statement and your address and a couple other things. Don't worry about that 40 minutes. It's not going to blow up if you don't, or you're not going to lose anything. It's just a timer to make sure people just don't stay logged on all the time. So you can always come back later, even if they say they want the information. If you just click to the next page, it'll be fine, and you can come back and update that information for registering for any of the events that they have. So I'm going to, but since I've already done that, I'm going to do log in. And this is the first place it asks for every single time it's going to ask you for this to log into Art Call. Well, I saved my information, so all I have to do is go down and click on my email, or if for some reason this does not pop up, make sure your cursor is in this window, or click the key here and your email options will also drop down. Click on the email you used, password pops up, click log in. Boom, you're in. Now, if you've not entered anything yet, you're going to just click on new submission, and it will talk you through it. In my case, I've entered one thing already, and I'm going to go to the next. I'm going to enter a new object so that you will be able to see the process. All right, there's where it also says you have 40 minutes. Just relax. This is stuff that we wrote that will help you understand what we need and why we need it. But you can come back and read it later on if necessary, if you get too nervous. I'm going to go ahead and choose a category, which is paintings. And then I'm going to do the subcategory, which in my case is oils. And I'm going to type in the title, which is Winter Silence. I'm going to type it in correctly. Please make sure in this case that you have capitalized correctly, because we use all this information in creating our labels. And if this is typed incorrectly, then it could go into our labels incorrectly. We tried to proofread everything, but we might miss something. Same thing for your price, $750. Make sure those 2 zeros are after that. Later on, you're going to want to always go back in and check all of this to make sure that it's correct and something didn't get missed. The first time I did this, I put in 4,000 and it ended up coming up as $4. So always go back and check your work. And then we always want your height first. This is very important. We say that, but not everybody pays attention. So mine is 20 inches by, 16 inches. And it is 1.5 inches deep. And the only reason that matters is because I'm not going to have it framed. So I'm going to mention the depth of the canvas. And this is the size you would put in if it's framed, and we want it to the outside edge of the frame, outside edge. This really helps when people are trying to make plans for what will go on their wall, and they come in with specific dimensions between a certain window and door, or over top of the mantelpiece, or down the staircase. Knowing the total footprint on the wall of your piece, which would be the outside, largest outside dimension, helps them make their preliminary plans. In my case, this is not framed. So I'm only going to put like NA, or you could put no frame, so that we know that nothing else is to be done. Sometimes we'll see the images as well, and if it looks like it's framed, but then the measurements you gave are the same here, we'll check back with you to make sure you don't want to go back and change that. And for the medium and substrate, we're asking you to capitalize each word. Mine is oil, and it's on canvas. So that the substrate is what your medium is on. So watercolor on watercolor paper, watercolor on UPO, that kind of thing, whatever the base is. Your verbiage is the art statement that relates to that specific piece. And so you've already given an art statement and you only have to do that once when you create your profile the first time for Art Call. But now we want a statement about that piece. Well, good news, I already created it because I wanted to, I always like to do mine first. I already created my artist statement and put that in some time ago. And then scrolling down to all of this, you're going to see in a minute. There's where I did my text for Winter Silence. And you'll notice, if I scroll back up here, it says 300 characters maximum to 20 characters minimum. Not words, but characters. When you create this in any kind of a document, the good news is it gives you you can go over to whatever your program is and find the command to show you the word count. And it will also show you other options like the characters and pages and paragraphs you've got. So if I were to highlight For Winter Silence, it tells me it's 44 words. And for this statement, it's important because it tells me it's 258 characters with spaces. So I'm good to go. All right, so I'm going to copy that. And now I'm going to go back to my application. And I'm going to type in, I'm just going to do a copy paste. And there it is. And I noticed there's misspelling there, so I'll fix that. You type in your email address, and they do want another one for, you will have to do this for each one as well. Usually something drops down for each entry. Your website, we would like, if you have it, because why wouldn't you? And because we will share that, and that gives you more publicity. And then if you are on social media, we would like your Facebook page and your Instagram page. And I happen to know what mine are, but I'll show you at the end if we have time. I'm trying to keep this to 20 seconds, and we're good to go so far, but I will come back later on. If I'm not sure, I can always come back and do this later. And then you need to pay. Crossroads right now is going through a transition stage. So if you are not sure of what the fee is going to be, whether it's going to be $15, which is for the general public, $9 if you are a gallery member that is going under the old system, and $12 if you are a new gallery member per entry. but email us, and I'm going to give you that in just a minute. I'll tell you, it's crossroadsartcenter@gmail.com, but I have it written down for you to see in just a moment. And I would click on this, and I do not have a card on file. And I am going to go ahead and enter this, but I'm going to not record it for just a minute. So I'm going to, when I click on this, sorry, I'll just do change card. That makes it easier. And I'm going to pause the recording so that I can stop this. All right, I put in my credit card information. It asked me if I wanted to remember the card, and I said no. And then it asks you to check I agree to all the conditions, which is pretty standard. And then I hit enter information or go to the next step, and this is what I get. Payment is successful, and you will get an email saying that in just a nanosecond. And so you continue to work. This is going to be the actual artwork now. So you can enter up to 3 images for this one submission. One will be the entire piece from top to bottom, left to right, and one will be a detail shot, a close-up shot, and then the third would be if it's framed. So let's go on, and you get to drag and drop or attach file. Well, I created a folder that has my images on it right here. And I know that I have to lay everything out right. And my image is Winter Silence. But here's the good news, and this is a big thing. You don't have to name your files anymore. So even though I always name my files, if I don't have it named, or if you're doing this from your phone or your tablet and you're putting it in the way the camera took the photograph, if you drag this one, it will name it for you. We have set that up, which is what I'm going to do now, just so you can see. Drag and drop it in. Boom, we're done. Looks good to me. I'm not going to change anything, and I'm going to hit done. Yay. And it's going to tell me that it is done in just a minute. It's at 300 DPI, so sometimes it takes a few minutes, but there we are. Hooray. They create thumbnails for it as well, and they're letting you submit it. I'm not going to share this right now. I don't need to do this. I'm just going to you could hit got it, or you could say add additional image, or if I click got it, I click down here, and I want you to see what you've got now. I'm working on this one. I'm going to add one more image. I'm going to talk about this in a minute. I want to add one more, the detail shot. So I'm going to hit attachment, add attachment. And in this case, they're going to ask again, do you want to drag and drop? Or if you get this command, attach file, it simply means you navigate to where the file is. So if you cannot drag and drop, you would use this and then go find your image. I'm just going to drag and drop again, and I already have it marked as detail, so I know which one it is. And there's the close-up. I'm going to hit done. And I'm going to say got it. And then when I check here, I see both images. Yay! So here's the thing you need to know. You could add the third one if you needed to. I do not. This right here lets you check what you've entered so far and how it's written down. We generate our labels from this. As I told you, we download a large spreadsheet that has all this information. So it's really important that this be correct. You see I've capitalized the words under medium and my title, and I've checked my price. Okay, that's great. The other thing is you can't get rid of this image by clicking on the space. You have to click in view details again. Over here, if you want to edit any of your information, that's where you would edit it. You cannot edit. I'm going to go to user, and I got to go to user dashboard, and there I am. I cannot click on this and type in anything different. It won't let me. It just lets me see it. So in order to edit that, I have to go to over here where it says edit, and it lets me retype anything. And then to get back to your page, go under where it says your name and user and select dashboard. And there I am. All right, if you need to change your image, right here is where you do it. You can look at it full size. I'm not sure what that means, set as featured, so don't worry about that. If you need to delete it because you've got a better one or a different one that you'd rather put in, click this, and then you just do add attachment and put in your new one. What you don't want to do, and this is very important, do not click on this red trash can here, because that deletes the entire submission. And I'm sure you get a warning sign. I'm not even, well, let's click on it and see. If you click on it, it says, are you sure you want to delete submission 15? That's for the whole program, not for the submission, not for you specifically, but that's your number 15. This whole thing goes away, but you still paid. So don't do that. So don't hit OK, hit cancel. And to delete your image, just go to edit instead. All right, so that's basically it. Once you're finished, you can add more, add new submission. So this is my first submission, this is my second submission, and you can go up to 3, or if you remember, you can go up to the 4th one, which is free. And then you're done, and you can go back at any time and check this out and find the status. And that's what we would like for you to do to make sure that all the entry information is correct. Now, we're done with that, and you would just leave. Everything is saved as you enter it, so you don't have to do another save. I would like to share a couple of things with you, and then we'll be done. I showed you how I went ahead and saved my artist statement first, so I'd have it right at the ready. And if you don't know how to find your name for Facebook or for Instagram, if you open your Facebook account at the very top, it shows you right there for my business account. That's how it's identified, and that's what I would put in that first box under your profile. And here it is under Instagram. And here you see that's what I would write in the profile. And then you see the data, the description for the 2 pieces I've entered. And by the way, I'm not going to go back and show you, but if you have your images too small for an entry, which I did have for Shenandoah Valley, it will let you know if it's too small or too large, and then you will have to go back in and adjust that image. So if you have any questions about your membership status or anything else, we would love for you to email us at crossroadsartcenter.com, because we can get it faster and more efficiently rather than phone calls. And we will get to you as quickly as possible, usually the same day, unless you're emailing us late at night. For the January, again, to review, if you go to our website and you navigate to Just for Artists and you scroll down to Call for Entries, and then you go to our January All Media show or the Black History show that's going on right now, you would, excuse me, click here, scroll down a little bit, go to click here to that website, and it takes you right in. If you get nervous, let's get out of stop share. Okay, if you get nervous, just stop and go back. Just stop, close it down. When you come back, you'll be fresh, you'll be new, and anything that you were confused about will probably make sense. So don't be overwhelmed if you haven't been able to do it before. I'm checking my time. I'm right on time, yay. So I hope this helps, and good luck.